Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So I'm happy to have you here on this Sunday afternoon. So a lot of you know that many long-term Palantir bulls have been selling Palantir because the quarter wasn't as great as they hoped and they feel that the thesis is broken. And Snowflake is one of the stocks or competitors that is being mentioned. And for example, this guy that I like to show his video when he sold Palantir did this whole crazy thing with Alexa and said execute order 66 and hunt down the Palantards. He, for example, invested some of his money and bought Snowflake. So in this video, I want to compare these two companies and see if he's onto something and we should all be selling our Palantir shares for Snowflake, or no, we're doing good with Palantir. So as always, if you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button that is down there. And if you want to go further and support the channel, check out the first link in the description box below, which is to our Patreon. You can support the channel for $5 a month and get direct access to me and all the valuations that we use on this channel. So let's take a look at what Databricks is. So this is their investor relations website, and you can see that Snowflake is a data cloud solution, a global network where thousands of organizations mobilize data with near unlimited scale, concurrency, and performance. So inside the data cloud, organizations unite their siloed data, easily discover and securely share governed data, and execute diverse analytic workloads. So it seems like they are a data cloud solution first, and then they offer some analytics tools, whereas Palantir is more of a data operating system. And as a data operating system, they have to have a solution for where you store your data. And as far as I understand, they have their own solution to it, but you're also welcome to use a third-party solution like Snowflake or GCP or Microsoft Azure or AWS. So they have 6,300 commercial customers, as opposed to Palantir, I believe, has a few hundred, maybe 192 commercial customers, 1.8 billion daily queries. I have no clue if that's good or bad. I mean, obviously they are used a lot for 1.8 million daily queries. They have 206 customers that is above the 1 million mark. And here they become really comparable to Palantir because Palantir is a way more expensive service, and I believe the average customer with Palantir spends 8-point-something million. So if Palantir has the in the prior year for, let's say, $100, then the next year they're buying for $174. So that is a crazy good sign, and means that even without getting new customers and making new sales, they will be growing at least 74%. So these are some very, very impressive numbers. Now, if we compare the numbers of Palantir and Snowflake head on, here is some key numbers. The market cap of Palantir is 17.5 billion versus 49 billion for Snowflake. So Snowflake is 2.8 times as expensive. However, the annual revenue of Palantir, this is how they closed their last financial year. Snowflake has a very odd financial year and it ends in January. So Palantir actually had more revenue, 1.5 billion as opposed to 1.2 for Snowflake. The price to sales is very shocking. Palantir, if you would be buying Palantir today, you would be buying 11.6 times its earnings. Which is on the high end. But then if you look at Snowflake, which is a 40.8 price to sales ratio, that's just nuts. Then something that was very interesting for me is that Palantir had circa 300 salespeople from their organization, whereas Snowflake had 2,247 people working on sales. So that is almost a 10x difference. Now you have to take in mind that, again, on paper, Snowflake seems to be doing better because let me show you some of their investor presentation. So Snowflake has an 84% year-over-year growth, as opposed to Palantir is having a bad year with, 27, maybe 26% year-over-year growth. Their net revenue retention at Palantir is 120%, whereas Snowflake is 174%. Now here, this is not truly apples to apples. You have to know, if you have a customer retention rate over 100%, it's crazy good. I have dabbled in a subscription business, and even just to keep customers for more than a year, is for most subscription businesses a dream come true. Even if you don't have to offer them discounts to stay, is a really, really good. So now keep in mind that Snowflake has 6,000 customers, but only 200 customers who are over $1 million. So that means that they have a lot of small customers who might be going from, $10,000 a year spent to $20,000 a year spent. Whereas Palantir's average customer is, 8 million per customer, and they're growing that base 20% per year. I would just say that these numbers are not oranges to oranges comparison, and I think that both numbers are crazy great. Then what I want to show you is here is their growth level. They grew 106% between financial year 2021 and financial year 2022. Crazy good. I believe in the same comparison year, Palantir grew 40 something percent. Again, it's not fully apples to apples because think of them as a data warehouse solution first, and they're adding data analytics and they're only serving commercial customers. Whereas Palantir is a data analytics solution and they offer cloud solutions, but you can take your third-party solution, and they serve government and commercial customers. And right now their government segment is very stagnating, whereas the commercial on Palantir is also booming. So in my next video, I'm actually going to make an apples to apples comparison between these two companies. And you can see the total number of customers is growing very much. The customers over 1 million revenue growing very much. They have a very big portion of the Forbes Global 2000 customer. You can see 506 companies they have from the Forbes Global 2000. That's a 25% market penetration. That is really, really good. Again, their retention rate is crazy good. You can see that they are having a free cash flow, and just as Palantir, they're having a crazy stock-based compensation. So if you hated the stock-based compensation with Palantir, you're not gonna like that here. Let me just show you. So Palantir had a total stock-based compensation in 2021 of 778 million. Crazy high, and that's down from 1.2 billion in 2020 and up from 241 million in 2019. Palantir stock-based compensation is going down, and it's an issue that investors are pushing on. Whereas Snowflake had 78 million in 2020, 301, more than tripled in 2021, and still more than doubled up to 2022 to 605 million. So that is a very, very crazy amount, but they have a free cash flow, which is actually similar to Palantir's free cash flow. Now, here is the very interesting thing, because Palantir has, I think, very little part of their workflows. They have thousands of employees. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's similar. They have like 4,000 employees. And out of those, only 300, which is less than 10%, is in sales. Whereas Snowflake is almost 10 times the salespeople, and almost half their employees is sales. So you can see here that they have a significantly higher 10x the sales force, and they have double the growth rate. Again, which is in Palantir, the commercial and government is lumped together, and here this is just commercial. So I actually, while I was sick and down and out, and I did a course with another YouTube creator called Kostadin, and I'm going to link his channel below. He has a fantastic channel. He does fantastic valuation. And I learned how to do a DCF, and I did one for Snowflake to see if this stock, just to get an idea of the value that they're trading at. So I plugged in some numbers, and some of the numbers is from their own guidance. Let me show you, because I actually appreciate how clear guidance they have and how clear they speak with the investors. I just have to find it for you. Here it is. So this makes it so easy to model this company, because they're giving you a financial year 2029 target of 10 billion in sales, 30% in growth, 78% gross profit, and 20% non-GAAP operating income. So if I plug these numbers and I do a DCF on it, then you can see I even did a better one, because I'm saying that they will grow to 12 billion by 2030, 11 billion in 2029. And you can see that I counted with cost of capital, which is right now very high because they're very volatile compared to the S&P 500. But as you can see, by the end of the table, this goes near the S&P 500 average. And same with their growth rate. I'm counting with a very high growth rate now, and then this growth rate going down. But keep in mind that my calculation is still better than what management expects. So here you can see the present value of the numbers, and then here you can see the terminal value. And if you add everything together, then you get so keep in mind that their current market cap is $49 billion. If you take their terminal value, you put it into present value, I get $7.8 billion. Then the present value of all their other cash flows is $134 million. So the total is almost $8 billion. They have $3.9 billion in cash, which is very, very nice. They have very little debt. They have a crap ton of employee options. So if you take that out, then you have $5.2 billion left as a present value, which would give a stock price of a fair value of $16. The stock price is currently trading at somewhere around 160 and 170, and that is a 1000% difference. So that means that this stock, if you do this DCF as I did it, is 10x overvalued to fair price. And that is just crazy overvalued. So to translate this, this stock has 5 times the price to sales ratio as Palantir. They are 10x overpriced to fair value. They have 10x the salespeople, but only twice the growth rate. And I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad investment, but you have to know that if you invest into Snowflake, they are priced to perfection. Like, they cannot have a slowdown. They cannot have anything that goes wrong. Otherwise, this price doesn't make any sense. So this was the video. Let me know, guys, what you think. Let me know if you're thinking about selling your Palantir stock and buying Snowflake. And I'm going to do a next video where I'm going to compare Palantir without the government section, so it can become an apples to apples comparison between Snowflake and Palantir. So as always, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.